Under most circumstances, I would say that owning a venomous snake is probably a bad idea for almost anybody. But this snake is one of the exceptions. This is a false water cobra, and although yes, she is venomous, I would consider false water cobras to be one of the best pet snakes that you could possibly own, and personally, one of my favorite snakes. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about the false water cobra. My name is Pierce LaValle, this is Pierce's Planet, stick around. Yo, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. Today's video we are going to be talking about what is personally, I think, one of my favorite snakes that I own, and that is the false water cobra. And with me today, I have my false water cobra, Naja, and this is going to be a difficult video because she is just super active. So based off the intro, some of you may be a little freaked out because you may be thinking, why is this guy holding a venomous snake? Well, the reality is that false water cobras, while they are venomous, they are rear-fanged venomous. What that means is that they have fangs at the back of their mouths, and what they have to do is when they bite onto their prey, they actually have to chew on their prey for a little bit to inject some of that venom. Now, false water cobra venom, along with a lot of other rear-fanged venomous snakes venom, isn't very potent, and it isn't potent enough to really do any harm to anybody. So I just wanted to clarify that before people started freaking out and thinking that I was holding some like highly venomous snake. The venom isn't really potent, so unless I have an allergic reaction to it or something like that, nothing's really gonna happen. I first heard about false water cobras a few years back, and then about a year or two later, Clint's Reptiles came out with a video talking about them. And ever since that video, I was interested in them. So I started doing a ton of research on them and really wanted to get one. When I finally found a place where I could, I did. And once I got Naja, false water cobras just rapidly started shooting up my list of some of my favorite snakes. False water cobras get their name for their ability to hood up like a cobra does. So what that means is that they can actually, when they feel threatened, they can flatten out their head area and make themselves look bigger. The difference between what a false water cobra does and what a true cobra does, though, is that for one, false water cobras can actually flatten out their whole body. So while true cobras can only flatten out that area around their head, false water cobras can actually flatten out their entire body when they feel threatened. Another difference between the two is that when true cobras hood up, they can actually hood up vertically, which means they kind of like lift themselves up off the ground and hood up. Whereas false water cobras, when they hood up, they're doing it horizontally. So they're kind of staying flat on the ground and then flattening out their head and their body. Another reason why false water cobras got their name is because of their similarities with the banded water cobra. Now, I actually made a video on this. It was 5 venomous snakes and their 5 non-venomous alternatives. You can go check that video out. And I compared the two. And it's because they really do look pretty similar. Like, to the untrained eye, if you didn't know what you were looking for, you might not be able to actually tell the difference. So it's pretty cool that they look so similar to real cobras. The false water cobra is also named the Brazilian smooth snake, and that is because they are found in Brazil. You can find them in the wetlands in or around water sources. Now, this isn't a care guide. I'm not gonna go into detail about their care or anything like that. I just wanted to give you guys a brief history and a brief overview of what this snake is. So me and my girlfriend always have this discussion, and she always asks me, who are my favorite animals that I own? And I always choose Slithery and Franklin because they have like sentimental value to me because I had them since I was a kid. So we always have to kind of take them out of the conversation right away. But after that, I mean, just in terms of wow factor, snakes that I think are the most interesting or impressive, Naja is #1 on my list. I just absolutely love this snake for a multitude of reasons. One of the reasons why I love these snakes so much is their temperament. Now, Naja in particular is just a super chill and super calm snake. is actually the snake that I probably trust the most out of my whole collection, besides Slithery, my corn snake. As babies, when they're younger, they can be a little defensive, and Naja for sure was. She was striking every time we would reach in the cage, she would strike. But with some work and just with some time, she tamed down just amazingly. And it was almost like a light switch. It was almost like just overnight, literally. Like one day I was in there and she was striking and going crazy. And then it was like the next day or 2 days later, I went in there and she stopped and she never did it again. So their temperament is just incredible. Just really docile snakes when you put in the time. From what I've heard, the males actually can be a little bit more defensive than the females are.
Boys are stupid.
And if you've ever watched like Tyler Nolan's channel, he has a male that's pretty crazy. So obviously not all false water cobras are gonna be puppy dog tame or ones that you could trust, like I trust Naja here. But I would say that if you put in the time, you have a good chance of getting a really just great mannered, well-tempered snake. And the reason why these snakes are able to tame down so well is another reason why I like these snakes so much, and that is because they are really intelligent snakes. False water cobras are colubrids, and in my personal opinion, colubrids are generally a little bit more intelligent than boas and pythons. Boas and pythons tend to be a little bit more primitive, whereas colubrids tend to, you know, just, you could tell that they got something going on upstairs. And that is definitely the case with false water cobras. When you look at a false water cobra, they are constantly on the go. As you can see with Naja, except for right now, she's finally calmed down a little bit. They are always moving, always searching, exploring things, trying to find food, just always on the go. And that's kind of a sign to me of their intelligence. And that comes in handy because they do have a strong food response, but you can tell that when you open up their cage, they're not just bum rushing out of their cage. They're actually figuring things out, and they're realizing, okay, oh, he doesn't have food, or oh, he does have food, and then they come out. So it's really cool to see kind of how they operate and how they interact with their environment, because they're constantly checking things out, and you can just see the gears turning in their head and as they're trying to figure out new things. It's a really awesome thing to see. They always got this look on their face like they're kind of mad, but they're also kind of cute at the same time. I can't really explain it, but you could just see, like, she looks hella mad, but she's not. She's a sweetheart. Another reason why I love these snakes is because of their food response. Their food response is insane, and these snakes can eat. I mean, they can eat. If you offer them food, if a false water cobra turns some food down, it's either super obese or it's sick. Like, these snakes will not turn down a meal, and watching them is just awesome. These are not constrictors. As I said before, they're rear-fanged venomous, so they want to bite into their prey and get that and inject that venom into them. Now, watching them eat is not for the faint of heart, because they are not constrictors. They are going to bite into their prey. They might shake it a little bit. They're going to push it into things. It is just really, really rough, but it's cool because they actually actively hunt. Other pythons and boas and some other colubrids will sit and wait, and they're ambush predators. Not the false water cobra. You put a rat in their cage and they're going to chase it around their cage until they catch it. It's just, it's really cool. It's different than a lot of other snakes that you might own, which is why I love these snakes so much, because they are really, really unique. In all honesty, feeding them is probably like the best part about owning a false water cobra. I love feeding Naja. It's just so entertaining to watch her chase after her food. Way more entertaining than a lot of the other snakes that I own. Another reason why I think false water cobras make amazing pet snakes and are personally one of my favorite snakes is because of their size. They are an impressive size, especially for a colubrid. False water cobras on average get up to about 6 to 7 feet long, females getting longer than the males. Naja here is about 6.5 feet long. With that being said, these snakes can still reach up to 8, even 9 feet long, I've heard. Now, those are outliers, but still pretty crazy to think that a colubrid could get to be that size. It's not just the length that they have also have some girth to them for being a colubrid. A lot of colubrids are thinner and slim bodied. You know, like Jeannie, my Vietnamese blue beauty, is a long snake, but also a very thin snake. False water cobras are a little bit more sturdy, so when you're handling them, you don't have to really worry so much that you're hurting them. They are very, very strong snakes, just full of muscle, full of power. You can really feel that when her tail was wrapped around me, I felt it. I mean, they are really strong snakes, but just awesome, impressively sized, and that means bigger prey items for them, so you're gonna be feeding them rats, large rats, things like that. And that leads me into another reason why I love these snakes, is something that I'm doing right now, and that is handling. Now, as you can see, Naja is an explorer, and that's what these snakes do, man. These snakes are always on the go. They're always moving, always trying to find new places to hide and places where they can find food. As you can see with Naja, she is just moving around everywhere, and that's what I personally like. I like snakes that move around a lot. I don't like snakes that are basically just, you know, scaly logs that just kind of lay there. I like my snake to be able to move and to explore, and that is why I love false water cobras, because they are constantly on the move. Probably not the best snake to have if you want to, you know, let them just kind of free roam while you clean your house or something like that, because they move around so much, they might, you might lose them. But the plus side to that is that they are fairly large, and so it might be a little bit harder for them to hide. What's another reason why I love these snakes? Well, because they're rear-fanged venomous. I mean, I'd be lying to you guys if I said that one of the reasons why I got this snake was to be able to say that I have a venomous snake and not be lying about it. I mean, the fact that these guys are rear-fanged venomous also gives them a little bit of wow factor as well. Now, in terms of the venom, as I said earlier, it is not potent enough to where it is going to really cause any serious damage to you unless you are allergic, but it is something that you do want to watch out for in case you are allergic to it. But in the wild, their venom is used to subdue toads and different amphibians and small rodents. So it's not really meant to cause any harm to human beings, which is why it's not really necessary to worry about it too much. But I mean, it's cool to say that you have a rear-fanged venomous snake. I mean, I know, I get it. Hognose snakes are rear-fanged venomous too, but look at hognose snakes. I mean, nothing against hognose snakes. I'm not trying to put them down or anything like that, but there's nothing impressive about hognose snakes.
I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
And that's why I think false water cobras are so cool, because it's impressive like a mangrove snake. It has the features, it has the size, but it also has a temperament, if you socialize it correctly, like a hognose snake would. And you don't have to be afraid of this snake, you know, being out for blood or out to get you. And I'll be honest, I've been bit by Naja before, and let me tell you, it was 100% my fault. I've told this story before. I was feeding her one time. I put the rat in there, she struck, she missed it. I kept my hand in there, she struck again and totally missed the rat again and bit my hand. And so I didn't really have any negative side effects. It was probably one of the more painful bites that I've had, especially like the after effects, but it really was just like a little bit of a burning sensation, really itchy around the area of the bite. And that probably lasted about 24 hours, and then that was done. If you do get bit, it's not the end of the world, but it might be a little bit worse than just a snake that has no venom at all. And so that is it, you guys. I could probably ramble on and on all day long about false water cobras and why I love them so much, but I'm not going to do that to you guys. This video was also not me telling you that you should go out and buy a false water cobra as a first snake for your 6-year-old. I don't think that that's a good idea. Me saying that they are the best snake you could possibly own does not mean that they are the best snake for young children. So I just wanted to put that out there before people went out and bought one and then their kid gets bit and it's just all bad and I get blamed for it. So just wanted to throw all that out there. But all in all, I think false water cobras are just such amazing snakes, and they aren't shown enough. I do think that false water cobra popularity is going to just keep rising and rising and rising, and honestly I'm surprised it hasn't risen any more than what it already has, because they are just awesome. Again, this was not a care guide. This was just kind of reasons why I love this snake and reasons why I think that they make just amazing pets. If you guys liked this video and if you are interested in me doing like a full-on care guide for false water cobras, let me know down in the comments and I will do it for you. Also, let me know down in the comments what you thought about this video and what are your thoughts on the false water cobra. Would you ever get one? Don't forget to like this video, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and please, 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 can you share the video? Bring some friends over here. Let's keep this channel growing. Until next time, everybody, my name is Pierce LaValle. This is Naja. We are in Pierce's planet. And remember, it's all about the reps, baby. Peace out. You are very, very curious, aren't you? I have sentimental value. I don't think so, dude. What are you doing? False water cobras are colubra. What in the hell is her temperament?
You're so cute.
Can you not? This is a nice look for me. Damn, Naja.